What's up, guys? Welcome back. If you are new here, welcome. Go down and subscribe. There is lots of different content that ends up on this channel.
Hi.
And we have kids that pop in from time to time to say hi. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi. I was thinking about what I was gonna film for this video, and I thought, what a better video to film after dyeing my hair than let's talk about my tattoos and piercings. If you haven't seen the video where I dye my hair, go check it out. I will link it in the description below. But let's get on with tattoos and piercings.
But I don't know.
Yeah, you got tattoos and piercings?
Yeah, I don't need.
Piercings? So we will start with my piercings.
At the baby.
A baby? The baby has one? I don't think, no, I don't think so. So we will get started with piercings. Some of these actually have slightly funny stories behind them. So if you have been watching this channel, you probably could tell that I have my tongue pierced. I actually got my tongue pierced when I was 12. It was for my 13th birthday, but I wasn't 13 yet. I had asked my mom if I could get my tongue pierced. She said yes. I wasn't really expecting her to say yes, but she did. So we went to 5 or 6 different piercing tattoo shops to try and get it done. Every single one of them said no. You have to be 16 with parent permission. My mom was there, but I was 12. So my mom worked with this girl that had a brother who did piercings. Well, her brother lived in a halfway house, so he could only get out at certain times of the day. To make a really long story short, my mom took me to her friend's house that she worked with. She went and got her brother. I got my tongue pierced in the bathroom of an apartment from a guy who lived in a halfway house when I was 12. Now, no infection, it didn't even really swell. It was fantastic for being not done at a shop. It was done professionally. He was a professional. He did do piercings. But moving on to my next one, I had my eyebrow pierced. Actually, if you go back and look at the first, I don't know, 10 videos that were posted on this channel, my eyebrow was pierced. I probably still have a hole there. I was 14, I want to say, and decided, hey, I want my eyebrow pierced, so let me take a safety pin and shove it through my eyebrow. So it actually, I ended up piercing it 3 different times, same spot. I actually have a horrible scar right here, and oh, you can't really tell, but my eyebrows don't even really grow in properly right there. The first time I had stuck the safety pin in it, I just left that in. I wore that as my eyebrow ring, like that was a fashion or something. It got caught on my blanket, I want to say, when I was sleeping, and ripped out. So giant scar. Let's be dumb and stick another safety pin in there. Anyways, did it 3 times. I just recently took that out 2 months ago or so. Like I said, if you go back and watch the first few videos that were posted, you can see it. I had my eyebrow ring in until just recently. The next piercing that I have, obviously, are my ears. These 2 are stretched. This one is a 00. This one is a 0. So it is really hard. Obviously, I have 2 different earrings in. If I'm going to go buy matching earrings, I have to buy 2 sets of the exact same earring because they're different sizes. I'm not going to do it. So the next one, I also have a second hole here, and on both ears they have scars because I did it myself with safety pins like a dummy. Kids, don't pierce yourself. Go get it done professionally. I don't know even what happened, I have no idea, but when they came out, I did it again now I have them. This one I got done professionally, my cartilage, I want to say when I was 13, like my 13th birthday or something. And this one I also did myself with a safety pin. So I debated for a long time on getting, I don't know what they're called, the little tiny parts of your ear right here. I debated for a long time of doing that, but at the time that I wanted it, it seemed like everybody had it. Everybody was getting it, and I've never been a follower. I didn't want to do what everyone else did. Thus being the next thing that everybody, and I always said this, everybody and their mom has their belly button pierced, including my mom. Never did. That was the one thing that everyone was doing that I never had any desire to do. I've never had my belly button pierced. However, I, being the crazy kid that I was and still am, because if I could have kept this in, I would still have it to this day. I thought this was the coolest thing in the entire world. I decided to take one of my tongue rings. I don't remember. I think I pierced it with a safety pin, I'm sure. And once it healed up enough to stick a barbell in it, I pierced this part of my hand. I know you can't tell on camera, I still have a scar right here. I pierced it. When it healed enough to put a barbell in it, I took one of my tongue rings, shoved it through. I think I wanna say I had it for like 2 weeks, and just the skin on the outside right here, it died. The skin died. It got really hard, like what a scab would, and the whole piercing just grew out of my skin. Like I said, if I could still have that one, that would be one that I would have kept. I thought that was just unique. It was really unique. No one else had it. But that, I don't have any other crazy piercings. That is the list of my piercings. So moving on to tattoos, I'm obviously not caked in tattoos. To look at me, you wouldn't know that I even had any. I have 4 tattoos. I have all intentions on getting more. Tattoos are expensive and I don't have a ton of money. But we will start with the first tattoo that I ever got. I didn't really get it. This is another one that's got a funny story behind it. I did it myself. And it was not with a safety pin or a paper clip and pen ink or however you do that. I'm not smart enough to figure that out. I lived with my cousin at the time. I was 16. I lived with my cousin at the time, and her and her husband had a tattoo gun. So my mom promised to take me to a Metallica concert. And this was when she first met my stepdad. Well, needless to say, you could probably see where this is going. She took him and did not take me, and I was very, very angry. So I'm left home alone because they all went. My cousin and my cousins went, and my mom, and who is now my stepdad, who was not at the time, went, and I was home alone, and I was an angry, bitter 16-year-old in a house with beer and a tattoo gun. So you could see where this is going. It did not end very well. Carla and DL, if you're watching this, I don't think you know that I ever took the tattoo gun and did this, but now you do, and I'm sorry. I decided to give myself this stupid little star that you can barely see, because I decided my mom was mean for not taking me. So I drank her 6-pack of Smirnoff. Kids, don't drink. Unless you're over the age of 21, don't drink. I drank all of her Smirnoff and decided to pull out the tattoo gun, and I was gonna give myself a tattoo. Now, I obviously didn't know how hard to push. I had been drinking, so anyways, ended bad, doesn't look good. Don't do it. Moving on to my next tattoo. Again, did not get done professionally. My cousin that I was living with, her brother, I hung out with all the time, my other cousin, and he had borrowed her tattoo gun. We were at a friend's house. I let my cousin give me a tattoo. I drew up what I wanted, and this is the result. I got a neon green hatchet man that, now, it doesn't look horrible, but it definitely does not look professional. Like I said, I drew it up myself, so the way that it looks was more my own fault, I guess. But my favorite color is lime green, like bright neon, let's see, like this color, bright, obnoxious neon green. So I decided that was the color that I wanted. Well, that color doesn't work very well for tattoos, and especially on skin that is like fluorescently pale. But that was my second tattoo. It's okay, but again, it was not done professionally. Don't do it. Moving on to my third tattoo, again, was not done professionally. Kids, I strongly advise, if you are gonna get tattoos or piercings or anything of that sort, go get them done professionally. Do not let random people do it. Do not let people that you know do it unless they are a professional. My next tattoo that I got is this bad boy. To look at it, I have had several people ask me if it is a spade. From like deck of cards, a spade? Yeah, it's not. Or it's not supposed to be, anyways. When I was in high school, I used to draw mushrooms on everything. I was that kid. And so I was probably doing stuff that I shouldn't have been doing. I was at places I shouldn't have been, and someone showed up and happened to have a tattoo gun, and they were like, oh, does anyone want me to give them a tattoo? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm the dumb kid. Sure, why not? So I drew up this really cool looking mushroom and was like, this is what I want, this is where I want it, have at it. And I'm laying down on the bed and they're doing whatever, and I sit up and I looked at it, and that is not what I drew. I was so upset and so disappointed, but it's permanent and it doesn't come off and you can't do anything about it. Now, I have all intentions on eventually going and getting it fixed. I would really like to actually turn it into an Alice in Wonderland theme type tattoo. Alice in Wonderland is my favorite cartoon. I want the mushroom, I want it to look like an actual mushroom and not get asked if it's a spade. But anyways, so I have all intentions down the road of getting that fixed. But moving on to my very last tattoo. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 tattoos. Okay, not moving on to my last one. I have 2. I have 2 that were done professionally. So moving on to the first professional tattoo that I got, where I walked into a tattoo shop and actually got it done professionally. Yep, typical white girl with a Chinese tattoo. Everything at that time in my life, I felt like everything was intense. Everything that I did, everything that my world was intense. So I wanted a tattoo that said intense. Now, how lame would it be to just get the word intense on you? So let's look up Chinese symbols and find one that means intense. I actually found 2. When I looked them up, I found 2 that said that was the meaning. One of them was strongly intense and one of them was something else. I decided to go with strongly intense. Now, it's really funny because I worked at the airport. I worked at the airport and I actually worked with a handful of Chinese girls and had showed them that, and she said that it does mean intense, but the more to look at that, it means strong, which now I'm good with that. I still like that as the meaning, but that was my first professional tattoo. It turned out really good. However, the kid that did it was very, very new. The shop that I walked into, the guy that I had talked to ran the shop, and he said, oh, well, we have a new artist in, we're gonna have him go ahead and do this one. He did all of the outline, everything was good, fine and dandy, and someone had walked into the shop to talk to him. So he was like, oh, well, I'm gonna give you a break for a minute and I'm gonna go chit chat for 10 minutes and I'll be back to finish it. Well, when you're in the middle of doing a tattoo and you stop, the pain goes away, it starts to heal, it starts being really tender, And then he comes back 10 minutes later and decides to fill it in. Painful. That was very, very painful. But it does look really good. It turned out good. My very last tattoo that I got was also professional. It was the same tattoo shop, different artist. We went with the owner this time was actually the one that did it. This was after I got with Kenny. I think we were together for like 6 or 7 months, and I don't advise anybody to do this, especially after only being with somebody for that long, but now we are going on 10 years, so it's okay, it worked out. My next tattoo that I got is a K on my finger, on my ring finger. Come on, camera. For Kenny's initial, obviously, he also has one on his finger with a T on it for Tanya. Now, it made me feel really special that this was actually Kenny's idea, that when we wanted to get him done, he was the one that came up with it. He's not a fan of tattoos, so that makes me feel even more special that he actually got that for me, basically. So like I said, I do have intentions on getting more tattoos. I've actually wanted Lily's name on me since she was like a year old. I just wasn't 100% of what I wanted. I do now know for sure what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get all 3 of my kids' names on me. I wanted for the longest time to where it looked like my side was laced up. Kenny told me, that's another thing that he says, you're not 16 anymore, you'll regret that. So I don't know about that one, but I will be getting more tattoos, so maybe we will do a part 2 of this later in the future. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see that. If I do get more piercings or tattoos, that is all of my piercing and tattoos. I thought that this would be a fun video to post after a hair dyeing video, because what goes good together other than dyed hair, piercings, and tattoos? But I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, smash that like button, go down below, leave me a comment. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and hey, stay wacky, fam.